Do you have a channel strategy? Do you operate under a mix of channels, or do you think everything is the same? Good morning, everybody. Ruby and I are talking about his channel strategy today. So, lots of entrepreneurs, lots of business owners look at their pipeline and they see everything as the same. Every new opportunity, it has an equal chance of winning as part of new business, and that is not how this works. So it's important that you map to your channels. What different channels do we operate? Do we have partners? Do we have a website? Do we have social media? Do we do paid media? Do we do trade shows? Do we do cold outreach? Whatever. So we want to know what's happening within each of those channels. They're not the same. The data that comes from those channels, oh, by the way, are we operating on our gut, or are we using data? Use data. Oh, and by the way, challenge that data. It's not the same. Not every channel is the same, and we want to make sure that data is clean and rich. Make sure that's happening. And then from there, what do we use? What do we do to make sure that our business is mapped to something that we can change? Are we generating demand for our products and services? Are we doing that in an appropriate way? Do we know what it costs us to acquire a customer on each of those channels? Because they are not equal and they are not the same. So mapping your channel strategy is super duper important. How do you get the right information about what's going on? Lots of entrepreneurs will map the financial aspects of their business. They know how much it costs to run, their margins, how things work, how we operate. But when it comes to pipeline, top of funnel, forecasting, it's kind of a wet finger in the air. I don't want to do that. So structurally, what can we do to be different here? So understanding the channel strategy is important. If we go to a trade show, what is the propensity for somebody to become a customer? Is that 1 in 10, 1 in 100? We need to know that. If we scan their badge at the trade show, we have the data. Do we know what that means? Do we use it? Or is it a website call? If somebody comes to our website, what is the chance that they'll turn into a customer based upon coming to our website? Or is it a cold outreach? If we're doing that, what's the chances we're going to get a customer from that? You want to know, and then you want to challenge that data so that you can make better decisions as to whether or not the cost of acquisition on said channel is good. And if we're not creating demand, if we're making them come to us, we are going to win. If we are trying to go to them, these numbers get really small and the cost of acquisition goes really high. Can we get them to come to us as opposed to us going to them? Like, it's a very straightforward conversation. It's really hard to get companies to think differently about this. So, bottom line, map your channels, know the data within those channels, challenge the data and the attribution within those channels, and make sure you're doing things to get better at those channels. And if cold outreach is one of them, fine. Know what it costs you to get a customer to do that. You're spending a ton of money on your sales team to go out and find new business. You got to know how much it costs. Don't operate on your gut. Don't operate with a wet finger in the air. Leverage a channel strategy, know the data, confirm the data, make better decisions. Have a great one. Walkin and Talkin with Ruby.